Hello. Welcome back. This is my very delayed um, 2025 planner lineup. This was a little bit delayed just because I took my time setting everything up, and then I was also waiting on some covers from an Etsy shop that I just got today, and I filmed that little video of just unboxing them super quick that I think I'm gonna post that one before this video. So this will be even more delayed, but that's okay. So welcome to the lineup. I sort of have it in levels of like organization needs, or like levels of I guess neatness, you could say. And so if we went in order of like keeping things sort of like dignified, it would go this. So this is my most my official thoughts and planning. My more messy day-to-day navigation, I think, is how I would describe this book. And then my like emotional journaling and like problem solving through like introspection will be going into here. And then I'm not really going to touch much on this, so I'll just cover it right now. This is just like a little Moleskine pocket-sized notebook. I've gone through a bunch of them. I know that there's like a huge YouTube sort of like trend, I suppose, of everybody going like, just your phone, get a little pocket notebook and go on your phone, go when you want to go in your phone, like write in your notebook. And I've been doing this sort of like commonplacing, I guess, since I think 11th grade, maybe it was 12th grade. I can't really remember. But I would just like keep this in my back pocket and write like random reminders, or just even things that were happening throughout the day. And then this was before I like journaled at all. This was my like only journaling. And so this guy, oh, I fully just showed off my address and that, but this one I do, oh my God, I'm showing you again. Well, I'm actually gonna have to edit this now. Yay. So this is like my first like brain dump. I just do brain dumps, mainly in here. And then sometimes I'll do like random quotes or stuff that'll show up in my head. This was me. I drew a map of, oh, I actually can't show that, but I drew a map of a love triangle that was happening in my friend group, and that sort of thing, you know, just like playing puzzles and like grocery lists and stuff like that. This was me like planning all the Christmas cookies I was making and figuring out like butter stuff, and yeah, just like a lot of to-do lists. And oh, this is a sweet note that my friend left for me on New Year's Eve, which is so cute. Yeah, I haven't finished this one. I'm less stressed about finishing these guys on a timeline, just because I either go through them really slowly or really fast. And I don't normally decorate them, but I decorated this one just because I felt like it. Yeah, so this is just my little sort of like commonplace, I guess, notebook. And then here, I'll move these a little bit out of the way. I'll do this here, or maybe I'll balance it. So I'll put like one down here. Does that look terrible? I don't know. I'll just have them to the side. And so this is my journal. It's a Leuchtturm journal. It's my first time using a Leuchtturm journal, and I decorated it pretty sparingly. Honestly, just because I had trouble with the texture of the cover. A lot of stickers I had like peel up a lot. But I just have these like sweet little 4 flower stickers on the front from a sticker sheet that my mom gave me. And then this sticker I've had for forever. It's just, I just love her so much. I think that she's so good. And so she finally gets to be sort of on the back of my journal. People go, oh, that's like a very sweet, like simply decorated journal. And then on the back, yeah, bam. Literally the best thing to ever exist. I love her so much. And this sticker is from on Amazon. At least when I bought them in like 2022 or something like that. No, probably 2020 or 2021 on Amazon. I just bought like a insect sticker pack that came with like a bunch of butterflies and beetles and stuff, and she was in there. And then I bought one that was like kind of like sexy ones of like pinup girls and like girls kissing, and I was lonely. And then got one that was, I don't know, just like random stuff. And so you can get like big bulk sticker packs on Amazon, and that's where I got her from. And so this journal is going to be pretty simple. I probably won't show it a lot on YouTube just because it will not be very interesting other than me like talking about my feelings or stuff that's happening. So this is sort of me checking in with myself. This is just to cover up my like address and things. And so for the like content section, which I think is cute, I haven't had a journal with a like an index before, which is fun. I'm just like gonna put when my first entry of like each month is, and then what I'm trying. I don't know if I'll keep doing it, because I'm trying to have this journal be the least pressure possible, but I like doing little mood board, like title pages, sort of collage things. I've started to get really into like multimedia scrapbooky collagey situations. And so I went on my laptop and I spent like a little too long, maybe like 45 minutes, like going through Pinterest stuff of things that I want to like focus on this month, and then like inspo pics sort of thing. And then I just got a printer from the government. Thank you to the government of BC for sending me a printer. Not sponsored. So I like printed all those out and then cut them out and then chucked them on here with some like stickers and stamps and things like that. So I'll just go over this like so quick for January. I might like include this in like a January setup video or February's setup video. I'll do like the February page, but I really want to focus on studying this year overall, but also like I want to start off really well. Really strong start in January with studying. I'm looking to spend more, like take myself on more like self dates sort of thing of making sure I'm like cultivating having hobbies or like enriching activities rather than just like being go go go. And then I want to work on meal prep a lot. It's one of my sort of like I like setting like loose goals or like very achievable New Year's resolutions, and so I don't want to say like, oh, I'm not going to spend any more money eating out on a whim. But I'm gonna try to eat out less, because when I eat out, it's for utility. It's like, oh, I just need like a slice of pizza before I go to work, or like, oh crap, like I didn't have time to pack lunch and I'm gonna be on campus for 2 hours, like that sort of thing. And so if I want to try like meal prepping, like easy to eat things for like ADHD rushing. And then I want to do a little bit more. I want to reconnect with doing more witchy things and with my craft in general. I have an altar, I have cards, I have like all of the things and all of the knowledge to do it, but I've just lost the practice in the past few years. And so I'm really wanting to sort of take that back up again, because it really impacts my life really positively, and I want to sort of find a way to work that into my adult life. And then I obviously journaling. I love journaling. I have a little 100 subscribers on YouTube goal, which I don't think I will reach by the end of January in the slightest. Maybe in the next like 6 months to this year, but I don't know. It's just cute to have a little like YouTube nod of keeping up with making my cute little videos. And then I have sort of this like, this was a color study or a gouache study, I think was the photo of the sketchbook was what this was on Pinterest. And so I sort of have it as a inspiration, because I want to be doing more artistic things other than planning. Planning is my like main source of like artistry, and I want to have creative spaces like outside of necessity or obligation. And so that's sort of what that's there for. And then I just have like a cute little inspo picture of like, no one could fill your shoes. And then I've got like, I know the wind is strong, but so are you. And then I'm worth the mess that I make. I don't know, just like sweet little things that like sound silly saying out loud, but they're like nice to read, and sort of like have as a reminder. And then I also have just this little lady. This was like a clay keychain, and I was like, oh, that's literally me. And so I put it in. So yeah, that's my like little title page, and then I'm mostly just using these as like just like journal. I don't want to make them super pretty. I'm gonna be pasting stuff in. I tried writing over top of what I had pasted in because I wanted to just like keep it to one page, so it was like low pressure for our first entry. And then just like another page, and then I'm like pre-pasting some things in like ahead of time. This is like from work when I start my shift. Like we use iPads to take orders as a server, and so when I come in, we'll have all the iPads sort of lined up with like little sticky notes or like scraps of paper with our names on them, because different iPads send to different computers throughout the restaurant. It's not as complicated as I'm making it sound, but I keep those, and I'll put them in my journal, so I'll have like little, be like, oh, people know me, isn't that nice? Yeah, so that's really it for this. I want this to be like a really low pressure, emotion focused, and sort of like checking in with myself, sort of journal of being like, okay, I'm starting the school year. Either today or tomorrow, I am planning to do a first week of school check-in, like how are we feeling, how did it go, like that sort of thing. So that's what this is for. And then next up, what should I do next? I'll do my Techo next. So this is the original Techo. Do I want to sort of zoom in a little bit here? Does that work? Is that okay? Yeah, let's do that. It's so fun having this is a new tripod, and it's so fun having like control and being able to see what I'm actually filming, because before my camera was like so far away from me, and I couldn't see like what was in shot at any time, and so now that I can actually see it, it's really nice. So yeah, this is my original Techo. I did sort of a decoration, just like random doodle decoration with a bunch of Poscas on the back. My friend Elle came over and we decorated the cover of our planners together, and it took us like 4 hours, and it was so much fun, and I wish it took 12, because it was just like us being like creative and being like, oh, da, 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 da. It was so exciting. And so for the cover of this, I don't really know if there's really anything to go over. But I've got like a Kiki's Delivery Service sticker here, and I got this from Ghibli Park. And then some of these stickers are also from Japan as well. Like that's from Japan, that's Japanese. And then this fairy sticker here is from my like this is like a Fairy Kingdom sticker book. That's just so darling. And then I've got like little like washi tape bits, and then random sticker bits, and then these like the main pieces, like this guy, this, and this are all from my little scrapbook, like punch out books that are in all of my Plan With Me videos. If you're like interested, here, I'll just show one of them. These are like quite literally from the dollar store, and they've really changed the game. These are just little Chloe's Craft little cut pad, just like little punch out little guys, and I just love them so much. And I've got like 5 different kinds of them with like different themes and color palettes, which I love. So I used a lot of those, and then I've got like a bunch of like Posca marker outlines, and you can see, I don't know, oh yeah, you can see it really well on camera actually. I've got my little glitter jelly roll Oh, I love him. He's so sweet. My little glitter jelly roll to sort of accent stuff. So that's the cover. And then I've got like a little girl here, and then more like pretty fairy stickers here. I'm very much the person that uses all of their stickers. Some stickers I save, but I tend to only save them for a little bit, or until I can like make them the focus of something, basically. I'm not really using like this page at all. The only really use that I have for it is just like overall at a glance to like take a look at the next year and the past year. But it's like 2 pages and I'm not stressed about it. And then this, I'm trying out doing a little habit tracker where I put the habits up here, although I decided to stop tracking skincare because I already track that in my weeks. And so I'm like, I don't need to track it in 2 places. And I'm not being like, I'm okay to go backlog and maybe skip a few days, like that sort of thing. I've got like an arrow up for taking my meds in the morning, arrow down for my meds in the evening, whether I floss and also use my night guard, so it'll be like a squiggle if I floss, and then a little curve at the end if I have my night guard, as you can see here. And then if I meditate, which you can see I have not done yet, and then journaling just for like doing a little summary of my day in this book, and then an exclamation point beside it if I journal in my like actual like diary journal. So yeah, that's what I'm using these pages for. Okay. And then I'm not really using the monthlies at all. I don't know. I thought about doing picture day, but I thought that was just a lot of printing, and I would like to avoid buying more printer ink for as long as possible. So I'm trying to use it responsibly and sparingly. And then I was thinking of doing my sort of like January like title page that I do in my journal in this space here, but I was like, oh, I'm too excited about too many things. I want a bigger space. So what I think I'm going to use here is that retroactively at the end of the month, I'll print out pictures from January or sort of like fun things that happened in January, and like put it here sort of, so when I like go back through this book, I can sort of like see my sort of month summarized sort of thing, which is cute because I also got like ink stains on them. Okay, and then so the way that I use this book, it's very loose and it's really low pressure, which I like. But this is sort of to solve the problems that I had pop up with my system last term or last year in 2024 with having a weeks and a diary, and that was it. Was that I found that the weeks the format was a little small for me to figure out everyday tasks, especially having ADHD, pardon me. I would sort of struggle. I sometimes struggle, especially before my medication kicks in, just to figure out what I want to do in order in the morning, and then I'll get frozen. So sometimes this is literally just like shower, eat breakfast, like brush your teeth, put on clothes, like that sort of thing. If I like need like a lot of help, like navigating my morning. And then I was doing this in my little messy planner. I was doing like morning navigation of like what I needed to do for like cleaning that day, like that sort of thing. And so this is what I use on the side, is I'll be like, okay, you have to shower, you have to do this, you have to do that. And then at the top here, I'll either put like events for that day or things that like I want to do that day, like the main priorities. So here I'm fostering a cat for the next 2 months. So excited. Don't even get me started. Her name's Willow and I love her. So I'm fostering the cat. So the cat came that day. I needed to do like a kitchen, a living room reset, and like big to-do list, like that sort of thing. And then in my like larger note space area, I'll do just like daily summaries, basically. And some days I use this a lot, sometimes I don't. And then sometimes I'll actually use the time stamps here. And also because I'm never awake before 9 a.m., like the sort of the top 4 lines here can just be like a general to-do list. And then sometimes I'll do like actual timeline stuff, like I put in when I'm working here. And then it's sort of like a good visual thing to be like, this is for today. I have to do, because I got home from, oh, I'm so excited. I'm like getting overwhelmed. So today, how I used this was I last night put up my like main things that I wanted to do today, which was like film a video. I had tofu to eat up. I need to clean the litter box, like that sort of thing. And then when I came home from my morning class, I wrote down all the things that I want to get done before I go to work at 5:30, or probably around 4:15 or 4:45 is when I'll leave to go to work, basically. So up until that time, these are all the things that I want to do. And so then like while doing them, I'll go back and I'll cross things off, that sort of thing. I have done like half of these things already, but I haven't crossed them off yet. So that's what I use this for. I've just sort of like tabbed off where the note pages are, but I doubt I'll use them for very much. I do have like a little pen test page in the back. And then this is my like school schedule. I'm not going to show it because if you can like figure out what school I go to, you can probably figure out like the abbreviations for buildings and stuff. And then all the rest of this stuff, I don't know. I'm not really sure what I'm going to use this for. I'm really focusing on utility with this journal planner, I guess. It's not supposed to look nice on the inside. Basically is what I'm trying to say, is I made it look really cute, so I'm like excited to use it. But then for the inside, it's getting down to business, basically. Okay, so that's this book. And then I'm gonna zoom back out. Oh, and then also, sorry for that book, I have my little, I've already showed this, but I have the little Yumi Kirigishi like not file, like page keeper, pencil board. Yeah. So I have that. Okay, cool. And then finally we have my weeks. This is my life is in here. This is like one of my favorite setups because I like how customizable it is while still being structured and being able to sort of have a bird's eye look at everything. Yes, I just love this so much. And then I just got the cover today and I like sliced a hole on the side because I have been using a Leuchtturm pen loop and I really like it. Especially for this pen because it matches. And then I don't love the pen loop on the case, so I'm keeping that. Okay, so let's start. I'm also like getting really excited going through all this, so I need to remember to slow down. Okay, so on the first page here, I'm trying this out. I haven't used it yet, but I've seen a lot of videos is that people have sort of like a dashboard on the very front page to like jot random notes down. Although that's kind of what I use my little like purse notebook for. But this would be good if I need to like, I don't know, give somebody my phone number or like write down an address or a recommendation for somebody. And then I can be like really cool and give them like a really cute sticky note. I don't know. And then for the title page, I have all these like beautiful fairy stickers from the book that I showed you earlier, and so I put some of those in there, and I think it's so sweet, and it just makes me feel really excited to open the book. And then for the year at a glance, I use this for the same reason that I did last year, is I have like different colors. So I have a color for anniversaries, for birthdays, for paydays, and then for the various like Sabbats, like Wiccan or witchy holidays, pagan holidays, you could also say too. And so for like paydays, I underline it. So I'm filming this on the 10th, so I got paid today. Yay! And then I have like birthdays and just like basic like dots on those days. Okay. And so then for this book, I'm using this page. I'm using as my period tracker. I started using this page as my period tracker when I was using my last weeks. But I only started using it in like August. And I have a very irregular cycle. And so I'm gonna sort of have a better look at that because I never know when my last period was. And then whenever I like try and use the phone apps, I never remember. And so if I'm in here all the time anyway, it makes sense for me to have just a page as a part of the system instead of having a wholly separate system for that purpose. And then just for the monthlies, I put sort of my goals for the month at the bottom, or like these goals could be like things that I want to do, like I want to organize my spare room, but then also just like general goals of like having like more solid routines and having like more frequent videos. My main goal for 2025 in general is like little by little instead of all at once, or like in general like frequency. I want to be more consistent with things instead of waiting and having to deep clean my entire kitchen for like 3 hours. I'd like to just like actually just like wipe everything down often enough that I don't have to, or to like vacuum every week and like that sort of thing. Is I don't want to let stuff pile up, basically, is my goal. And so in here I basically just have just like little decorations down here. I previously tried to use this as like finance tracking, like tracking my spending, but I found it wasn't really leading to anything. And so I'm not really sure what I'm going to use this section for just yet. Yeah, but I basically, I sort of have each line is for a different class. So like I'm always going to put my like English class assignments in the 4th line, basically. Just so it's like easier to identify at a glance as well. Yeah, and then for like events or like less like official things, like less appointment and more like personal life stuff, I'll put it in the top line. So like my little paydays I have in the top line. I have a call with my dad every Wednesday to catch up, and so I just put those up in the top line. My anniversary is up there, like that sort of thing. So that's what I use these for, and I've like gone through and I've put all the like dates and everything through that once I got my syllabus and stuff. And then for the weeklies, if anybody has watched my playing with me videos, I go really into depth about what everything's for, but I'll just go over super quick. I use this like larger section for like school things or like casual stuff of like this whole day is like I have to remember, I must call my doctor. I will not remember if it's in the to-do list sort of thing. And then I'll just do like, oh, this is when I'm going to work on my online class, like that sort of thing. This is my main like school section. And then here is more like events that are happening on the day. So I put in when I work, my like things that I'm doing with my friends. So I had like my staff party this week. I went to Costco. Last night we had a soup potluck, so everybody came over and made soup, and then we all tasted each other's soups, and it was really fun. We all went soup night. I recommend soup night to everybody if you like soup. If you don't, you should try more soups. And then this section I have is my like daily to-do list. So this is sort of my summary of what goes in here, because I don't really bring this to school. So if I'm on campus, I'll know that this is my like general like thing that I have to do, or like, oh, before I go home, I have to go to Walmart, like that sort of thing. And then I just have like basic lists. I have like my readings for my courses. I track my meals less for like any health reasons and more for like ADHD reasons. Like it's not relating to weight or diet in any capacity. It's just making sure that I'm feeding myself often enough, which I do decently at. And then I have like a skincare tracker down here as well for like how often, because that's something I struggle with a lot, is having like a consistent skincare routine. It's just like, oh my gosh, you're telling me I have to brush my teeth, wash my face, and floss like once to ideally twice a day, and then also eat 3 meals a day, and that's just like the basis. Like I can't even, that's crazy. And so I have those there just to sort of like, I don't know, keep me accountable, basically, of if I go X, 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 then it's like, okay, now I understand why I feel like crap this week, like that sort of thing. And then here, this isn't a normal section. This is just because it's the first week of school. This is like my like course information sort of thing. I'm honestly not gonna cover this up because it's so messy that you probably can't even figure out what it means. And then this is my like general to-do list. And sometimes if I like it's halfway through the week, like right now this is pretty full, I'll stick a sticky note on top of it and keep writing more to-do lists on top. And then down here, I'm trying out doing like a weekly highlight. That's the nice thing about having like just like a plain grid page, is I can change up how I do things a lot. Just weekly highlights, just throughout the week to like stay positive, I suppose. And then I have like a grocery list. Again, if I go grocery shopping at the start of the week and then halfway through the week for like random stuff, I'll stick another sticky note in, that sort of thing. And then I'm just remembering, I forgot to show that I put little beads on the end of my little ribbons, just because last year my ribbons frayed like immediately, and so I always had to have knots on them. So this term I was like, oh well, if I'm gonna knot it anyway, although they've stayed pretty well. I think this year they sealed the ribbons a lot better. So this year I put some beads on them, which I think is so fun and cute and I love. Yeah, and I put the monthly tabs. I'm gonna try it out this year. I'm not sure if I like it or not. It's not really helping me like crazy, but I think it looks nice, and it was an exciting thing to add on, basically. Okay, and then for notes pages, what I have is in the sort of index here, I've sort of left space in the middle for if like I've sort of pre-sectioned things, but if I end up adding more things in between the sections, then I'll have the actual space to write those down in here. Or like even if I like have like a specific list that I want to keep track of, I can sort of put that as well. And so then for each of these like main sections, I have a little tab. So this section is for like your mind, like my mind wandering. I put like mind wander catcher. So this is basically if I'm trying to do schoolwork or I'm trying to focus on something, mostly like schoolwork, and I think like, oh, what do I want for I should figure out what I want to ask for my birthday, or like, oh shit, I need to do this, or oh, I need to ask my mom about this, like that sort of thing. I will put it down here so that I have it and can revisit it, but I won't go off and do something for 20 minutes on my phone and then get sucked in and then have to like refocus. It's just sort of okay, we'll put it over there and then I can still have it, sort of thing. And then I'll also use this if I'm studying in a group, especially with my friends, especially with my friend Elle, is we're so excited to chat and to talk to each other that we won't get enough work done. And so what we'll do is, I saw this on a TikTok. I don't know who it was, and I'm not gonna find it. But I saw a TikTok of having a yap sheet, sort of like a rap sheet sort of thing, is when we're trying to work on stuff is when we have something that we want to say to the other person, we'll write it down on the piece of paper and then put it back in the middle and go back to work. That's sort of in the same with the mind watcher catcher. So if I'm doing studying, and I think, oh, I should ask Elle if they want to go grocery shopping this week, I'll go, oh, da, 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 and then put it back in the middle. And then we try our best not to like read the ones before. So we'll go, like that sort of thing. And then sometimes we'll have like offhanded conversations in the side, but it's sort of like I can ask a question, put it there, and then when my friend is ready to see what I've written them, like they're like they're like, okay, I finished this task, I can take a look at this, then they can read it. We don't have to like distract each other or like wait until we can match up with the same sort of like break time, I guess. And then next up, this is just like a general list section. Oh, I did put like little washi tape. I don't think this looks like really great, but I never use this washi tape because it's really big, so I wanted to use it. This is my like list washi tape sort of title, and then for the section, again, it's just like random lists. Just because in my last weeks I'd have lists sort of randomly, and then when I sort of have to go back, I'd have to like flip through everything basically. And so I can put those in whether I need like a massive grocery list or like a big like cleaning checkoff list that like might not necessarily fit in with my like daily to-do lists or that sort of thing, or lists that aren't immediately necessary, sort of like a Christmas list or a gift ideas for people, like that sort of thing. And then here I have like video ideas, and I have a little fairy who's like sort of lost in thought. She's contemplating. And then here I'm probably gonna muck with the system a little bit, but I have like the video that I'm doing right now where I basically put like the title, which is like the setup of all my planner bits, and then sort of like points that I want to hit in that video, and then sort of like other ideas for me to put more details on later. And then I also have like layout ideas for my weeks, my weekly layouts specifically, because sometimes you run out of ideas, or I have an idea while I'm making a specific theme already, and I want to write it down for later. And then here I have budget. This is added in a little bit later, but yeah, I'm trying to do more like tracking finances specifically. And luckily I don't have any like bank details here, so I feel okay showing off like how much I make. And so here I've got like student loan stuff of like what is a grant and what is an actual loan and what I have to pay back and like the total amount of money that I got for like this year, that sort of thing. And then here I'm gonna zoom in again. Oh, look at that. So here this for like January, and then I basically just counted out 6 pages, and I'll use each page front and back basically. So for January, I'm doing like my starting, what's in my checking account, and then at the end, what's in my checking account. Just because, I don't know, I just Googled budget trackers, and I'm sort of picking and choosing what I want to track from those things and adding my own stuff. So if I might not keep this, I don't know. But I've got my like first paycheck and then my second paycheck, and then I because my pay stubs don't really detail a couple things, I kind of will do the math myself a little bit. So I'll put in my like total, I'll divide that by my hourly so I can see like what my actual hourly pay was, and then I will subtract my hourly rate from that to then figure out what my tips were per hour, because I work at a tip pool restaurant. And so I don't necessarily need to or get the chance to keep track of how much I'm making per evening in shifts, in tips, pardon me. And so I'll do that. And then I get a little bit of, I still get like parental pay that like my mom used to get from my dad, but now I get it because I don't live with my mom anymore. So I get that for the next like year or two, which is nice. And so then I'll just have my total income at the bottom. I just put a little star next to it of like, this is sort of your total, what you pay attention to. And then for spending, I've got like my expenses, and then I'll like fill in what I spent on like each grocery trip. And then my partner and my roommate and I use an app called Splitwise to like figure out expenses and stuff. So like we share all of our like sauces and rice and oil and vinegar, just so we don't have to have doubles and stuff like that. So I'll just put like sort of what I spent in actuality. So even though I'm spending like $100 on groceries every 2 weeks, I'm actually only spending 50 bucks for every other week on groceries. Basically is what that's for, is like, this is what I'm spending, but after it's split up and like reimbursed later, then that's what the actuality is. And then here I have my like little subscription services, and I've got all that added up there. And then sort of the subtotal of everything I spent that month, like in theory, the things that I like have planned and I'm like supposed to pay for. And then I'll have the actual, which is like what I actually spent on like random shit. And so then I'll basically subtract the like planned for number from my actual amount of money that I spent, and then that's my like non-essential spending. And then I'll put that here. And then I have like savings of like how much money I'm putting into savings on what day. And then more like Splitwise stuff down here. So like mutual babyage is the very cutesy mushy gushy name for just me and my partner. So like our groceries, going on dates, that sort of thing, that'll go here. So I'll say like $75 to Talia of I paid for groceries and then a date this month, and so Matthew like owes me this much, or like $250 to Matthew of like, oh, we're mostly evened out, like that sort of thing. Because we usually don't like e-transfer each other to pay each other back. It's normally just like, oh, Matthew's in debt to me, so then he'll buy the groceries for a little bit, and then I'll buy the groceries, and we sort of, it's always sort of ebbing and flowing basically. And then for the pear pad, it's what my like apartment group is called, and so just the total for that, and then just notes if I have any, like I had to pay for my whole dentist appointment, so my non-essential was actually essential, like that sort of thing. Yeah, and then I just have a pen test page in the back. Here, I'll unzoom. Oh, that's so handy being able to access the camera. Just like a pen test page in the back if I want it. And then I'm actually not sure what I want to use for tracking this year. I didn't actually do this last year either. And then yeah, for the 365 checkout sheet, I might do it for journaling again. I'm not sure. I think because I successfully journaled every day last year, it's sort of, I feel like I don't need to do it again. You know what I mean? I'm trying to like relax this year. So I'm not sure what this will be exactly, but I don't know. Maybe I'll just make a cute pattern with it. Oh, and then I've just got the sticker that came with the planner on the back. And then on the back I have my pen loop. I have a little cute little like charm picture here, and then I have a little flower sticker there, and then I filled, you can't really see, oh, you kind of can, but like I did like blue dots in here, and then I did pink dots in there, and then I accidentally put the pocket here, not remembering that this would cover it up. But that's okay. But I've just got like a little, this was like a drink ticket from my staff party that didn't end up getting used. And then just a little pocket here, and I don't put a lot of stuff in here. Sometimes if it's just like I get a form that I have to fill out, I'll fold it up and chuck it in here until I get home and can like fill it out and scan it, like that sort of thing. So yeah. Oh, and I'll also point out I put like silver in all the dots here. And I don't know why, but it just felt good at the time. But yeah, so this is my 2025 planner system. I hope you enjoyed watching. this was sort of fun to go through, especially to sort of look back and see how I'm trying out things differently from last year, and then I can look back a year from now and sort of see what worked out and what didn't, sort of thing. So thank you for watching. Have a good rest of your day, your night, your morning, whatever. And hi to my friends that watch this, which is the majority of my viewership. But thank you so much. Goodbye.